When we're listening to music, we've got all sorts of networks of our brain activated. So when we put someone in the scanner and we look at their brain listening to music, multiple networks light up. But if you think about, music and its most powerful role, we describe music as the language of emotions, don't we? And we know now from many neuroscience studies that music has a particularly powerful effect on the emotional networks of the brain, in particular our reward or dopamine network, and it really can directly produce a dopamine hit for us when we engage in it. This is a really important issue to understand, that the benefits for our health when we engage with music kind of sit on a dimension. If we've just got it on in the background, it's really probably not going to be doing us much good because we're not attending to it and we're not really processing it at a huge or deep level. However, if we're actively listening to it, that's when we start to see the benefits emerging for our health. And even more so if we're engaging in the music making. So we're now moving in time to the music, we're singing along to the music, or if we're training as a musician, we're playing an instrument and making the music. There's benefits along that spectrum, but the literature shows they're most pronounced when we're doing music making. We can see that there are particular sensitive periods where music is most likely to change the brain. It changes often how many neurons or cells will be devoted to the task. So if I spend a lot of time practicing the violin, I'll see an increase in my motor maps for representation of the fingers. But we'll also see increasing connectivity between regions. So what that produces is these, what we call near transfer benefits. So these networks aren't just for music, right? They do other things as well. They're for our memory, they're for our creativity, planning. And so what we find is that when we're using music and we're using those networks, that it's having these benefits for those other cognitive abilities as well. Now, when we look at these sensitive periods when we're most likely to get these benefits, the earlier we start, the better. It appears that there are sensitive periods for young children, often before the age of 7, where they get the most benefit and changes to these networks of their brain. But that's not to say it's too late to start later in life, because we also see that people later in life get benefits, and that engaging in music is neuroprotective, and it can help us recover from injury to the brain, and it can be neuroprotective in conditions like Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's disease. People can engage with music in many different ways. There's no right way. You don't have to be a virtuoso. It's the act of doing it that gives you the benefit, not how good you are, that matters.